Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ful-on. I'm your host, Ash Woolford. Today, we're here to discuss the Carling Cup game coming up on Wednesday night against Bristol City. A game where Fulham may make some changes. I don't know how much our squad depth will allow us to make wholesale changes, but we are probably expecting some. Joining me today are some of the members of the Ful-on crew. AJ, how you doing, mate?
I'm good. I'm good.
Drew, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good, my friend.
Yeah, good to see you again, mate. And Matt, how you doing, mate?
Doing good, feeling a bit of deja vu.
Yeah, so we've sat here before this morning. Um, Obviously, we're here to discuss the Carling Cup game coming up on Wednesday night. A game in which I don't really know what to expect from Fulham in terms of squad wise and what we may well put out on the pitch. The only thing we do know is that the squad's already quite thin. I'm expecting some changes, but how many we can make, I don't know. AJ, I ask you this every one of these about what we should expect squad wise. How much of a change are you expecting for this game coming up? What do you expect to see squad wise from Fulham?
I'm trying to think what we can change squad wise, and there isn't really an awful lot. We'll see our new signing finally start a fixture. I think that's a certainty. Um, Kuenka will probably get a few more minutes. We might see Anthony Robinson get a start for this game just to get him back up to match fitness. Castagna maybe starts on the right, but he's had a near enough full 90 at right wing, so sod knows, to be honest. Godot, Adama, I can see them getting some minutes in. And then probably Andreas Pereira probably gets some minutes. Outside of that, I think it's going to be very much the same. I can't see. Oh, Diop. Diop probably comes in for Anderson. I forgot about Diop. I forgot about his existence for a minute. Uh, yeah, we're quite fortunate that we've got a decent backup in most positions that will probably start in this fixture. But a lot of legs that we will want/need either in the starting 11 or on the bench for the next Premier League game will probably have to play in this fixture some way or another.
Yeah, I think this might be a perfect opportunity to give some of the under 21s, under 18s some first team experience. There were a few that are probably really on the cusp of making match day squads. We know you mentioned Godot, who is really one of those players at the moment where we know that he's linked away from the club, um, and they're probably Fulham might be tempted with that, considering his age and where he is in his development and just how much he's actually going to play. So I can sort of see it, but you know, looking at some of those players that are playing there, I'm also looking at the under 21 squad and Aaron Lepalobai, who's played you know three or four absolute blinders for the youth team in the last couple of weeks. Anyone who saw the game against Sutton United in the non-league cup, he was really, really impressive in that game. I wouldn't be too surprised if maybe he got a call up to come into the matchday squad for that. Maybe not start, but at least come in. Terrell Works as well was really impressive in that Sutton game. I wouldn't be surprised if he got called up, especially considering the fact that we only have two natural strikers at the squad in our actual matchday squad at the moment. And realistically, we're probably going to want to keep Rail and Muniz fresh for the game coming up on Saturday against Chelsea. It's really frustrating, obviously, that we are the early kickoff on Saturday because of our squad size. Because it is what it is. But Drew, we know that Fulham have potential to maybe make some signings in the next couple of days before this game comes about. I don't think there'll be ones that will come in and play in this game anyway because of the time frame of what's left. But dramatically looking at it and looking at this game here, what do you want to see? Who do you want to see get some minutes? You may be on like the peripherals of the squad, the normal, match day squad, let alone like the under 21s or whatever.
Um, I think the youth players are a good shout. Rijon would be good. I'd happily play King. if not king, ESR. ESR for match fitness, king because he just needs experience. And he needs first team experience. I'm not sure about Pereira because there are strong rumours that he's leaving the club. He's put out there's been social media posts to indicate that he's not going to extend his contract at Fulham. I mean, we go through this, it seems, Ash, every 6 months with him. I'm just bored of it now. And if there is a chance of him going, then I strongly suspect Fulham may not risk him getting injured because they'll want him off the books. Harrison Reed's floating around. He would be useful, especially if you're going to play youngsters up front. Yeah, ALB. I mean, it would be great to see him. I'd like to see Ridge on myself. But I don't think you've got a huge amount of choice. I mean, you look at it realistically. I mean, I think Adama will come in, Cuenca, Diop, probably maybe Castagna at right back. Left back, might play Robinson just to get his legs under him. You could play Cess further forward in that case. But it's not like you've got an obvious starting 11 to come in. But I definitely think I'd definitely risk a few of the youngsters, though. Ones that we wouldn't expect. The reason being is because Bristol City, in their own minds, are perennial contenders for the playoff spots in the Championship. And they're not going to care about this cup because they want to make a run at the playoffs. So even now, they're going to be trying to alleviate their fixture load. So I don't expect them to play a full strength side either. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. Like I said, I'd like to see Ridge on, just because all the hype, really. You know, alongside someone more senior.
Who's the left back that started the preseason game against Hoffenheim? Yeah, we could see more.
Misser, yeah, the 18-year-old.
Yeah, we could see more of him. The
18-year-old quitted himself quite well.
Yes,
I
don't
really see the harm in putting any of those boys in, to tell you the truth. It's not a competition that we're going to try and win. And we our depth is already stretched.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. We really don't know what to expect going into this game. Obviously, Matt, I think Drew might be onto something there with Bristol City and their expectations of their season and what they're realistically going to go into it. So we don't really know what we're going to face. We don't really know what we're going to put out. What we do know is we need to see a professional performance, no matter what Fulham power on the pitch. We should be winning this game first and foremost. That's the most important thing, right? That we win this game and get through to the next round. We know what a good cup run in the League Cup can do for us as a football club. We felt it a couple of years ago. What's the most important thing here? Just getting through, or to performance?
I think it's a mix of both. I think what I'd do in this situation would be experiment a little bit, try some things we haven't tried before, maybe a new formation, see what we can get working with. But ultimately, winning on Wednesday night is a priority. Seeing if we've got different ways that we can win the game would be a very how would you say it, like beneficial point for us, because we might have some players in the youth team that might fit into the team really well, just in a slightly different layout. But I reckon going for a cup run and try and just go all the way.
Yeah, for me, I know we're really worried about the squad, right? But I want to see a cup run this year. I want to see us go deep in one of the cups. It always brings excitement for us as a fan base if we can do that, right? And we know that the League Cup is the one that maybe the bigger teams don't take as seriously. They don't really see it as so important. AJ, how seriously should we take this tournament? How deep should we look to be going? Bearing in mind there are probably some concerns about our squad size and depth.
It very much depends on essentially the last week or so of the transfer window. It's one of those, if we continue to act as we have been as a club and don't get anyone through the door, then realistically we're going to have to just continue to play fringe players in the cup and hope we get results until we get to the later stages of the cup, at which point we can then commit to it a little bit more. We cannot start looking at the cup now at this stage when we need to get early points on the board in the Premier League and go, yeah, we're going to throw strong full first 11s at these cup competitions to ensure that we keep out these smaller sides and make sure we progress. That's something I'd love to have the luxury of being able to do with good quality squad depth, but we just don't have it right now. So realistically, as you said, we're going to look at playing some of the fringe players, some of the youngsters, and just hoping that there isn't a surprise result in this, and we can just sort of push on to the next few rounds. And then when we start getting to sort of the round of 16s, the quarterfinals, we can start going, right, we're going to take this seriously now, and hope that we can push on into another trip to Wembley eventually.
Yeah, eventually. I say it would be nice to go deep in one of these tournaments. To just say, I don't know, Drew, how much of Bristol City we've seen play football this season. I did watch their game on Friday against Derby just to sort of try to see what we were maybe going to see in this game. I wasn't that impressed with their first team. I didn't think they were that good, considering I don't think Derby are very good, and they didn't really sort of control that game as much as they could do. I don't. What are you expecting? Are you expecting them to bring the game to us if they play? Are we going to have to? Is this going to be our first chance to see Fulham this season? Just trying to break down the 11 behind the ball. I don't know what to expect from them. Like, what do you think we'll see?
Like I said, I don't think City are a club that see themselves. As I said, they're quite a big club. They've got an entitled fan base. If you gave them a choice between playoffs and a cup run, they choose playoffs. I don't know enough about them as a team, as a squad. I think they've got Scott Twine playing for them now, who was expected. Big things were expected of. Well, I think when he was at Wickham, went off to Burnley, but didn't quite happen. I think he's doing quite well for them. But I think they'll rotate like us. I think, and you've got to remember they're in a league that the games are more plentiful. They come thicker and faster. And so they've got a long season themselves. I could be reading this all wrong. They could come with a full strength team, working on the basis that we're going to rotate and try and get what would be a cup upset on paper, so it could generate momentum for them. But I've got a sneaky feeling that they rotate as well. In terms of what to expect, you would have thought even if we rotate, we still have enough quality to beat them. But up until a couple of seasons ago, when we smashed them 6-2, they'd won about 5 straight at the Cottage. They are somewhat of a bogey team, and their fans are just so entitled. They're like the Chelsea of the second division. It's just or championship. It's so annoying. But yeah, I mean, if you're asking me to be a better man, I'd say they'd rotate as well, because they've got a long campaign ahead in the league.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Look, we'll end this the same way we end all of our match previews, when we give sort of players to watch and a scoreline prediction. But bearing in mind, as we discussed, we're not exactly 100% sure what we're going to see going into this game. It might not be so easy. But AJ, can I have a couple of players to watch and a scoreline prediction from you?
Oh, tough. I suppose I'll just go with the obvious. The player we're definitely going to see is our new signing, our new goalkeeper. Let's keep an eye on him, see if he's actually any good, whether or not he can push Leno to to actually have some competition if he starts dropping form at any point of the season. Not that I think he'll be tested much, but that's the only one I can really think of for certain that I know will be playing in this game at this stage. Scoreline prediction, 3-1 Fulham.
Yeah, I'm hoping a fairly routine game. We'll see. Drew, how about yourself, mate? A couple of players to watch and a scoreline prediction, please.
It's very difficult not knowing who Fulham are going to play. I think anyone that Fulham plays in the attacking midfield role will be important. It depends how young he goes. I think if it's Cuenca and Diop at the back, I think they'll be crucial because they'll provide experience and stability. As for Bristol City, I mean, who the hell knows, mate? I mean, Naki Wells is probably their most recognised striker, but like I say, if they rotate, will they even play him? They've got a couple of familiar lower league faces around the back. Rob Dickey plays at the back for them, but I have no idea. In terms of score, I'd like to think we'll turn them over. I can see us conceding, but I'd like to think there's goals in it. I think 3-1's a fair shout for us.
Yeah, I think it's a fair shout too. How about yourself, Matt? Give us a couple of players to watch and a scoreline prediction, please.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Josh King might be starting this. I'm getting a full 90 out of this, so I'm going to go Josh King is my player to watch for Fulham. For Bristol, I think it might be Tyrese Campbell. One of their strikers. I reckon he could cause us a little bit of trouble, depending on the lineup that we go with. Scoreline wise, I think it's going to be a big one. I reckon it'll be 5-2 Fulham.
Okay. So for me, I think there's a few things we have to look at here with the Fulham squad and what we're going to expect and what we're going to see. I think this is going to be one of those games where we're probably 100% going to see Tom Cairney play in this game, and his level-headedness and his composure on the ball is probably going to be the most important thing going into the game. When you look at the squad of Bristol City, Drew Naki Watts doesn't play for them anymore. He left. He plays for Luton now.
Does he?
But that says an awful lot about what we're going to expect from this Bristol City squad. You know, Adam Randall, I think he's a really good tidy footballer. He could give us some trouble. You know, you look at Scott Twine as well. You know, he's a young player who he had a big move, it didn't quite work out, and he's gone to a team that usually play quite progressive football. That's the one thing I give Bristol City. They usually try to play football in a way that's deemed attractive. Although I don't know, we'll see much of that on Wednesday. For me, Randall might be the player to watch out for because him and Tom Cairney come up against each other. That'll be a good battle. Scoreline wise, I expect nothing but a professional performance by Fulham. And I want to see at least a 2-3-0 win. I want to see a clean sheet. I'm expecting the new goalkeeper to play for sure, but I want to see that the players that come in and play can help him, keep a clean sheet. We want to see Lecamento keep that clean sheet. I want to see the players that will play in the back. I'm suspecting Cuenca will play in this one. We know we need to get minutes in him, especially with the African Cup of Nations coming up in December and January. He's going to be relied on an awful lot. So we need to see that. So hopefully we'll go with that. But scoreline, yeah, I'm going to say 2-3-0 win, clean sheet kept. Lads, thank you very much for joining me on this match preview. I know there's an awful lot of ups and airs and what's going on. We don't know, but we'll see. Thanks everyone for joining us on it. We'll see you on Thursday for the we'll see you on Friday for this coming out as a match review, and we'll also have our Chelsea preview out on the same day on Friday, but it'll be out in the afternoon as we try to spread this out. Hopefully, Fulham can put in a good professional performance in this game. Whoever we see play proves their worth. But who knows? We might even have some new players by then. Who knows? We'll see. And nothing more to say other than come on, you whites, and let's go.